Let's dive into this modern economic hitman landscape. It's like a whole new world of financial coercion, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fascinating how these tactics have evolved from old-school debt traps in developing nations to targeting even our own backyard.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The report really emphasizes how these economic strategies, based on debt, fear, and the corporatocracy, have become decentralized and overt, as if they've come out of the shadows and, like, taken up permanent residence in the U.S. and Europe.
And it's not just the West. There's this huge twist with China, right? They're putting their own spin on the whole concept, using large-scale loans and infrastructure projects to, secure resources.
Right, yeah. China's approach is like a huge blueprint version of old tactics, but with an added twist, linking debt directly to control over natural resources. It's like they say, let me loan you money, and you give me your oil, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart move on the surface, but don't you think it's a bit too transparent compared to previous hidden methods?
Well, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
While the traditional model relied on, clandestine pressure in the global south with manipulation of aid and inflated economic forecasts, China's model is more openly strategic. And then there's this evolving twist. EHM tactics are now being applied within developed nations themselves.
Right. So we're talking about predatory lending practices like subprime mortgages and high-interest student loans, effectively turning domestic debt into a tool for exploitation.
Absolutely. It's almost like the same financial engineering that targeted entire countries is now repurposed to manipulate local governments and siphon public funds through tax breaks and subsidies.
And what about the personnel behind these moves? The report shines a light on the whole revolving door between the private sector and government, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got these professionals who slip from being powerful lobbyists to government regulators and back again. Ensuring policies always tip in favor of corporate interests. It's like a never-ending loop of influence.
And then there's the whole class of financial engineers, the bankers and traders who manipulate interest rates and even create elaborate networks of offshore havens to avoid taxes.
Right, it's a bit like a modern-day mafia. And let's not forget the jackals, those privatized drone operators and mercenary groups who handle the dirty work when things go south.
Exactly. It's unnerving how these economic, financial, and even military tactics are all interconnected now, underpinning a system that nobody really holds accountable.
And that's the big picture, isn't it? Whether it's the old-school tactics in emerging economies, China's debt for resources gambit, or the domestic exploitation through predatory finance, the underlying theme is the same. A system engineered to keep power in the hands of a tiny elite.
Yeah, it's a bit like we're living in an economic thriller where the cast of characters has just expanded and the stakes are global.
For sure. The report's sweeping conclusions about the threat to global stability, democratic integrity, and even ecological sustainability really drive home the point. It's not just about money. It's a whole structure of fear and control.
Right. It definitely challenges the old narrative that these tactics were confined to developing nations. Instead, it's a full-scale, global phenomenon that touches nearly every corner of modern society.
Yep, and it makes you wonder about our future, especially with such a pervasive death economy mindset steering policy. It's a wake-up call for international governance.
Absolutely. It shows that the lines between legal economic strategy and outright exploitation are blurrier than ever now.
So, in the end, it's less about hidden hitmen and more about a system that's been codified, so much so that it even infiltrates our own governments.
Definitely a conversation that makes you think twice about who really holds power, right?
Right on. It's a stark reminder of the need for transparency and accountability in global finance and governance.
For sure, a challenge for all of us to keep an eye on these evolving economic landscapes.